Good morning and welcome to day 6 of our 20 Days of Taekwondo Challenge. I'm super excited about today because today we're working on unified body movement, getting the body to do one thing all in one focused movement. So let's start off with some great warm-ups. We're going to put our arms out to the side and make little bitty circles to the rear with our hands, like we're trying to draw a ping pong ball with the tips of our fingers. All right, now let's make them a little bit bigger. Maybe we're trying to draw that cereal bowl. Good, and a little bit bigger, maybe the size of a basketball, depending on how long your arms are. And then go ahead and bring them up and around as big as you can. Try to pull back with your shoulders as you come around the back, really warming up those lats. Good, and stop, switch directions. Here we go. Up and around. Awesome, keep going. Don't forget to breathe here. Okay, now here's a hard one for you. We're going to work that coordination going opposite directions. Ready? One hand goes down, the other one goes up. Don't worry too much if this is a difficult task for you at first. It took me forever to figure it out. Switch directions. And stop. Very good. Okay, the next exercise we're going to be doing is high knees. So put your hands out in front and just walk, bringing those knees up to your hands. Good. We're starting to loosen up those hips a little bit. Making sure we're ready to move them because we're going to need them here in a minute. Hips are the important part of our body that nobody really thinks about because they carry the weight of most of our upper body on our lower legs there. And so we've got to make sure that connection is always well lubricated and warmed up and loose before we start doing anything intense. Excellent. And stop. Okay, now we're going to spread our feet double shoulder width apart now. We're going to do something called windmills. Other people have other names for this, but here's how it works. We're going to take this hand over here. We're going to reach down and across and touch these toes. Then we're going to come up and go back the other direction. Boom. Up and down. All right, here we go. Ready and start. Alternating sides. Don't get in too much of a hurry. Our hamstrings aren't really warmed up right now. This is going to help with that. Our lower back's not warmed up, so don't try to do these super speed. Just get a nice even flow going. We want to make sure we prevent injury, but we also want to make sure we get warmed up. Get a good workout here. Let's do this for about 10 more seconds. Almost done, and time. Very good, excellent. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do what I like to call the rainbow stretch. We're going to keep our feet in this double shoulder width apart position. We're going to put our hands up above our head, and I kind of like to make a little hula hoop here and pull on this hand. It really helps me to get a good stretch. And I'm simply going to lean to one side over here. Oh, yeah, that feels good. Stretching out all those muscles down along the side here. Some of you may even feel a little stretch in here in the groin, and that's just fine. And back over to the other side. Make sure that you're not turning your body and cheating this stretch. Keep your body sideways so you're really getting all of this side here. Think about making this hand long over the top of your body. And done. Excellent. Okay. We've got one other stretch that I want to do before we move on, and that is a lunge stretch. Here's how it works. I'm going to put one knee down on the ground, the other up and the other foot flat on the ground with the knee up. I'm going to put my hands here. I'm going to keep my back foot on the floor, and then rotating my hips forward, I'm going to lunge forward and stretch out these little ligaments right here and also the quad. We're going to be doing some kicks here in a little bit, and so we want to make sure that we've got that stretched out. In martial arts, this muscle tends to get pretty short because we do a lot of pulling and snapping with it. So it's important that we keep it from getting too short by stretching. All right, let's switch and go to the other side. Ooh, I wish you guys could see the beautiful sunrise I'm looking at right now. It is gorgeous. That's always inspiring when you're working out to be able to look out and see a beautiful view. God's made a beautiful world, hasn't he? Hope you guys get to enjoy it a little bit today. All right, excellent. Now that we're all stretched out there, let's do those kicks I was talking about. They're a little different than what you might expect. So what we're going to be doing today is called flutter kicks. Some of you may know these, especially if you've done some football before. But basically we're going to lay down on the floor and take our hands and we're going to make a diamond pattern with our hands. We're going to put them underneath our rear. We're going to sit on them. Okay, what this does is this allows us to get our lower back slightly up off the floor. But then I want you to curl your back. So you're trying to put your whole back on the floor. So I'm down here sitting on my hands, just on my hips here. Now I'm going to stretch my legs out straight below me. The next part of this exercise is that I curl my head up and then lift my feet and point my toes. And now we're just going to flutter, just like we're swimming in the water. But don't bend your knees, all right? We're going to do that for about 20 seconds, and then we're going to roll over onto our bellies, boom, and do the Superman, just like this. All right, here we go. Get ready. Get set, and go. 20 seconds of these. Now, if you haven't done any fitness for a long time, or maybe you've got an injury that prevents you doing this exercise, you can go back and do the cross crunches that we did yesterday, where we take an elbow to a knee. All right, and stop. Roll over. Put those arms out in front of you and lift. Don't hold your breath here. You want to use your back muscles, not your abdominal muscles, to hold you up in this position. You're balancing kind of on your lower ribs and on your hips. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, roll back over. Here we go again. Get those hips up and flutter. Very good. Roll back over. Here we go again. And Superman, go. Really try to pinch these muscles right back in here. Don't bend the knees here. You want to try to keep your legs as straight as possible and lift them up off the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last set. Roll back over. Here we go again. Get those hands under your hips and flutter. Really think about pulling that belly button down toward the floor and controlling that leg movement. Don't just flop. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, roll back over. Last time. In our class, we like to say last time, best time. Here we go. Get ready and up. Show me that great Superman. Excellent. Balance on those hips and those lower ribs there. The higher you can go, the better. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Okay, excellent. Now, everybody go ahead and stand up. The next exercise we're going to be doing is a little bit interesting. It doesn't transfer super well over the camera, but I think you guys can figure this one out, and it's really, really good for us. So what I want you to do is I want you to go into your great horse stance here. And from here, we're going to think about pulling the floor together underneath us. If I had a rug that was on a slick floor, I might be just wrinkling that rug up in between my feet. What I don't want to see is that your knees fold in. This is really not great for your knees. Instead, I want you to pull using the groin muscles and the glutes, okay? Then, whenever I say push, we're gonna go to the opposite direction. We're gonna try to push that floor apart. I always give my kids a challenge. I say, if you can push the mats apart, then you win, 5 awesome points or whatever. All right, here we go. Get in that great horse stance, hands on your hips. We're gonna pull for about 20 seconds, and then we're gonna push for about 20 seconds. Ready, and pull, 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 pull. Pull those knees and all of this in here together. Squeeze the glutes, pulling the floor together. And just hold that position. Good. Don't forget to breathe. 5 more seconds. And good. Switch. Now push. Sink down into that stance and try to push your heels down into the floor and apart. Now, if you're wearing socks on a slick floor, this might not work very well, so you may need to remove those socks, but you can do it. Okay, push, 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 push. And we have 3 more seconds, and relax. Okay, now pull. Pull, 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 pull. We're working on getting that unified movement through our lower body. Our upper body should be relaxed right now. We shouldn't be tense up in our shoulders or our core. We're just using that lower body, working on that tension there. We're gonna isolate that, and then we're gonna put it all together here in just a minute. And push. Last time with the push here. Push, 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 push. There we go. Almost done. Push as hard as you can. Go, go, go. Split that floor in half like a giant on a mountain. And relax. Excellent. Okay, shake those legs out. All right. The next exercise we're going to be doing is all about unified movement. You see, in martial arts, we want our physics to apply well to our martial arts so that when we need to apply force to something, then we have good force to apply and we're not doing things with bad kinetic chaining. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to be working on a lunge punch in a forward stance. If you don't know a forward stance, it's feet about shoulder width apart. One foot is in front knee is bent, knee is over the foot, back leg is straight. I'm going to turn to the side. Back leg is straight, but not locked out. Heels are on the floor, body weight is centered. Now, when we do a lunge punch, we start in a step and we end with a punch. So we're going to start with our hands on our hips. We're going to step forward into our forward stance and punch. And we want that punch to land, to end just at the same time we sit down into that stance. Now we're going to step forward and do it again. Boom. Good. Now we're going to back up using a back stance. A back stance looks like this, okay? Our feet are pretty narrow, okay? They're about here, about this far apart, maybe a little bit more. We want our heels to be about 4 inches apart from each other laterally, okay? And then our front leg is going to be about a step and a half, almost like a horse stance in front of us. And then our back leg is going to be turned at 90 degrees. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see that. Back leg is 90 degrees. Our weight's on our back leg for the most part, okay? We're about 70-30 here, 30% being on the front. Our front knee is bent slightly, both heels again on the floor, and then we're kind of drawing an L here with our feet, okay? Awesome. So we're going to go forward in our forward stances, and then as we go back in our back stances, boom, we're going to use that outside block, okay? So it looks like this. We start with hands on the hips. We step, punch, step, punch. Now going backwards, step into that back stance. Inside block, not outside block. Step forward, step backward, inside block. Apparently I can't talk today. All right, let's try that again. Here we go, ready? Hands on the hips and stepping, punch, step, punch. Good, going backwards, inside block, inside block. Good, going forward, step, punch, step, punch. Try to get that timing perfect. Backwards, block, backwards, block. What you're gonna find is you make little adjustments every time you do these stances. That's okay, keep on going. Ready? Step, punch, step, punch. Work on making sure that timing is perfect. Inside block, inside block, step, punch, step, punch, keeping that front knee bent. Back, inside block, back, inside block. That block should land as you sit down into that back stance. Step, punch, step, punch. Going backwards, inside block, inside block. Good, last set, here we go. Step, punch, step, punch. Step back, inside block, step back, inside block. Good, okay. That's an exercise you can work on almost any time to work on that unified movement. We're gonna do one more for that today, and that is a side attack. So here's how this is gonna work. We're gonna be using that horse stance again, using those wide stances to allow a lot of motion, okay? Stances are about motion, they're not about standing still, believe it or not. So we're gonna start with our feet together. We're going to take our hands and we're going to do what's called cup and saucer here. We're actually going to do an inverted cup and saucer. And I'm sorry, I'm going the wrong direction. We're going to do inverted cup and saucer here. Now we're going to lift this knee. We're going to twist our hips back, step out to our horse stance, boom, and punch out to the side. Then we'll go back the other direction, coming back, lift the knee, and punch. All right, we're gonna be alternating sides. We're gonna do this about 10 times. Here we go, starting with this leg over here. We're gonna pull it, cup and saucer, and heights. Good, that exhalation and tightening of the core should happen at the same time you punch. Heights. Heights. If you're nervous about making key ops, or maybe it's early in the morning, you can just breathe out with your strike. Looking in the direction of the strike. Good, keep going. Excellent. Try to get that timing absolutely perfect. Just 2 more, here we go, ready? Last one. Heights! Good, okay, shake that out a little bit. All right, we've really worked those quads today, so the very last thing we're gonna do is stretch out those quads. Go ahead and take one foot, pick it up, grab the tips of the toes, and try to pull them straight towards your rear. Feel free to use a balancing tool if you need to, but if you don't have to, work that balance a little bit. If you are working your balance, you can keep this other knee, the supporting leg, bent, and that helps. Take nice deep breaths, stretch out that muscle. Keep your knee pointed straight down to the floor. Don't let it float out to the side here. Good. Switch legs. And stretch, stretch, stretch. If you're not getting much of a stretch here, try pulling your shoulder back a little bit. That lengthens all the musculature coming down here and really stretches right in here in that hip. All right, guys. This was a great workout. Thank you for being part of it. It wasn't maybe as physically intense as some of our other workouts have been or will be, but it really worked some very, very important skills with that unified movement. I hope you guys practice this on your own as well, not just with the video, but I do want to know, what was the technique that was hardest for you to do today? Was there something with the coordination, or was there something with the physical stuff? Tell me what you really struggled with today. All right, guys. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Sunday is going to be a little bit different than what you might expect for a 20 days of Taekwondo workout, but I think you're going to enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all there. Bye.